And I love that they're doing this. I love it. And I hate when people are like, well, Trump stacked the courts. You mean he stacked the courts with people that have brains and have morals and have decency in their heads? In a significant decision, the Supreme Court has limited the scope of the obstruction charge commonly used in the January 6 cases. This ruling impacts former President Trump and hundreds, guys, not 10, not 20, hundreds of other defendants involved in the Capitol riot. Not insurrection, mind you, they said riot. The court found that the obstruction charge, previously applied broadly, must now meet stricter criteria, focusing specifically on corrupt intent and direct interference with official proceedings. Because, by the way, going there and being a Nana that was just like, hey, we were screwed over, which Nana was right, they did cheat. Let's just all be honest on many, many levels. But now they're actually changing it to where it has to be specific criteria for each charge. And guess what this decision is going to mean, Brandon? That it could lead to reevaluations, like bringing these people from prison back to do these courts and potentially dismissals of numerous cases. So Nana might be coming home, making the pivotal change and the legal landscape for January 6 prosecutions. This makes me so freaking happy. I'm talking to a guy on Manette, and if he's watching this, shout out to you. I don't want to give his name. His father's in prison for showing up to the Capitol. He is, by the way, paraplegic, and was in a wheelchair. Now he's going to be going to jail. And like, this is just freaking fantastic news for people like him. I wish him the best of luck. Representative Jim Jordan also urged the House to launch an investigation into the original January 6th committee. This gets me all warm inside. He wants to issue subpoenas for Liz Cheney, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Kissinger, and Adam the Shifty Schiff. And this move aims to scrutinize the committee's actions and decisions during its investigation into the Capitol riot and challenges the narrative and findings established by the January 6th committee. Now, there's a video I want to play, and then I want to get everybody's thoughts. Because Nancy Pelosi's flipping the hell out. It's a two-part. It's going to happen back-to-back, so pay attention. This is her, wait, is this the first one, Kelly? Oh, yeah. So this is it. This is going to be confessing her guilt, not sending National Guard is going to be in the second part, but this is when they go up to her and they ask her, a reporter asks her what she thought about the debate and Donald Trump basically blaming her for orchestrating January 6th. Go ahead, Kel.
And what do you say to former President Trump, who blames you for January 6th and says you didn't take his offer for the National Guard?
He thinks I planned my own assassination.
Yeah, yep.
It's sicker than I thought.
1 minute later.
We have responsibility, Terry.
This is her on January 6th.
We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the
she has no idea what the hell she's talking about. The inaugural stuff?
Should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
That is not a question of how they had. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
Yeah, so by the way, that's Nancy Pelosi admitting, because Donald Trump requested 10,000 National Guard troops because he knew it was going to be crazy, because he had a feeling that they were going to cheat, and that happened. Thoughts, Connor?
Yeah, well, to go back to the Supreme Court ruling that you just mentioned.
Yes.
The thing they overturned was the Enron statute. I don't know if you guys were familiar with this. Back when the Enron financial scandal happened, there was an attempt to cover up that case by destroying documents and evidence to obstruct the proceedings.
Yes.
That is what everyone who has been charged with obstruction for January 6th is currently in jail for, or currently facing charges for. A ruling that was used to determine guilt in covering up documents in a financial scandal was also used to prosecute. Oh, you obstructed proceedings if you went into the Capitol.
Yeah.
So it never should have been applied.
I don't understand how there is precedent, obstructing evidence, covering up documents, destroying documents. How is there any precedence there for what happened in the Capitol? How do they even equate the two?
What they argued was that the Enron statute applied to evidence, and that they were trying to destroy documents to obstruct the proceeding of the court investigation. So what they were saying for January 6th was that when everyone went into the Capitol, their actions were obstructing the official proceeding of certifying the election results.
Interesting.
It's very broad, very vague, and should never have happened. So this is absolutely a good court ruling.
It's just
no
like
question.
the fire alarm obstructed the court proceeding too, right?
Oh yeah, but he's in the swamp,
know.
so swamp creatures don't get affected by the swamp.
Yeah, that's convenient. But I mean, I always say how powerful Congress is, though. I mean, isn't it a beautiful thing? Like, look at how it is night and day when Nancy Pelosi was Speaker of the House versus when. I mean, even though this guy is probably part of the establishment too, it's night and day with the you know what mandates and the January 6th stuff. You know, they were full steam ahead prosecuting people for January 6th, but now, you know, Steve Bannon might not even go to jail because they're actually looking into the committee and saying they might have suppressed evidence. So that's why I say don't underestimate the power of Congress.
Yeah, but and thank God that the other side is. I mean, Brandon, I know me and you see on the same side. They're on the same team. It's the uniparty, but the truth has to come out at a certain point. Like if you wait a lot longer, the truth just comes out. These people were just literally standing around and they are doing 20 years in jail. That's absolutely absurd. Rob, what were you going to say?
You can't have it both ways. You can't have it be allowed for people that were burning down CVS's in the name of Black Lives Matter to not get away with the same. If you're going to compare the crimes, what's worse, right? Burning down somebody's business that they've spent their entire lives building, or going into a building that you're not supposed to be in. They were trespassing. There were some people that should have been charged with crime.
I agree.
20 years in prison? How do you justify that when literally worse crimes have gone on and it's been documented, it's been filmed, and nothing ever happened to the people that were involved?
Here, I'll do you one better. How about the fact that when remember they were protesting outside the White House and Trump had to go to the emergency bunker? The media was making fun of Trump, saying that he was like,
I remember
he had to go in the bunker
because
they were trying to invade the White House.
Cocktails over the fence during that incident and burned down a church.
Those people they probably got Medal of Honor.
I'm just mind blown. I mean, from everything that I've seen, there were literally people within the building, security, who were kind of walking them through, right? Like all of this has later resurfaced in CCTV footage from where all of this occurred. And so I feel like what recently happened with Donald Trump and the conviction is really bringing the lawfare that is being manipulated and utilized to secure a specific end. Like it's become very apparent to people what is happening, and they're not falling for it anymore. And so I'm not surprised to see that if there is a new speaker or whatever it may be, they're starting to echo those sentiments because, you know, populism, it's given a bad light, but right now it's the good type of populism, I think. And we're starting to see that reflected in legislature.
May I ask a question? What's the argument for not releasing all of the footage from January 6th? Why? Like, has all of the footage been released from January 6th?
No,
because they keep every time January 6th comes up in the news, it's normally because tapes have been released. Tucker obtained.
Yeah, Michael Johnson was released a couple some hours.
So what's the argument if you're gonna say these people committed these heinous acts and these heinous crimes? What's the justification for hiding all of those tapes and why not just create a website, capitalattack.com, whatever you want to do, and then just upload all of the surveillance footage from that day? Why wouldn't they do that?
Yeah, I'll tell you why, because it would prove our case that it was. Listen, let's just all agree. Okay, we know that they cheated. Everybody knows. Trump, you know, told everybody, hey, listen, I'm telling you guys right now, I know you're upset. Be peaceful. Don't hurt anybody. And then at the end of it, he made a video, which is hard to find, but it's on X, thank God, and go home, okay? With all the stuff leading up to Nancy Pelosi saying no, knowing it was going to be bad, then having FBI agents everywhere, and then when everybody was calm, and this is the type of videos, Rob, that they want to suppress, they started shooting rubber bullets and tear gas into the crowd. I'm telling you guys right now, until you've been tear gassed and rubber bullet has hit your body, you don't know shit and you don't know how you're going to react. That is literally kicking a bee's nest, and everybody's going freaking nuts. And then pandemonium occurs. They start hitting people. They start doing this. But the narrative of, because they keep repeating this to this day, Nancy Pelosi too with her drunk hands. She's like, people died. Nobody died, bitch. One person died. And it was Ashley Babbitt. She's a United States Air Force veteran that was shot by a Capitol Police guy, and he's a hero. She didn't have a gun. She didn't have a weapon. Nobody was armed. And it's going to prove that it wasn't an insurrection. It was a freaking protest that turned into a riot because they were provoked into it. What's up, Con?
And you said earlier at the top of the story, Vinny, that, you know, everyone's freaking out. The activist Supreme Court, Trump put all these MAGA Republicans on the... what MAGA Republicans are currently on the Supreme Court? Okay, Clarence Thomas is based as hell, but Trump had nothing to do with that.
Zero.
And then, okay, Neil Gorsuch, Amy Coney Barrett, and Brett Kavanaugh are all pretty wishy-washy for the most
They've
part.
gone against him a few times.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course they have.
Like, if there were going to be MAGA activist Republicans on the Supreme Court, Trump would still be president. But they ruled against him in that one time when everyone expected them to show up for him. But the only reason Trump got 3 Supreme Court appointments is because Ruth Bader Ginsburg wouldn't retire.
Because she wouldn't retire and she died.
Exactly. Like, she refused to retire during Obama. So instead, she died while holding the position, which opened it up to Trump.
That's not God's work. I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Like that's total
That's the Lord.
coincidence.
That's the Lord.
That's such a coincidence. Just like he had 3 opportunities to do that there. But real quick, I feel like it's kind of weird to me that Pelosi's all surprised and caught off guard there because we have the belief that she intentionally didn't call the Capitol Police potentially. So that's a little bit surprising me there for her to be in like a state of shock. Like, oh, why weren't the Capitol Police there? If that was on January 6th.
That was on January 6th. She knows her daughter's recording this documentary. She's like, I take responsibility.
So is that acting maybe?
No, I don't. Brandon, all I know is that she is on camera saying what she said. She's the one that said no. Maybe she didn't know at the moment she was recording, but it's like, listen, we all know what's happened. We all know what happened. We all know what's, by the way, and the fact that they're putting all these people in prison for all this time is to let other people know, don't you dare come to the freaking January. Don't you dare come to Washington and protest unless you're gay and you want to dance and take your dick out.
Maybe that's how we should do it. We should have a gay pride parade into the Capitol.
Yeah.
Next time we want to
wow.
protest. Not saying that we should, but if you were to do, that'd be a funny comedy movie or something.
That would be funny.
You're trying to start a homosexual protest to the Capitol? What are you, gay eps?
Yeah.